We continue with Big South Member Recognition Week as we celebrate Hampton University and welcome in new head volleyball coach Sonja Maksimovic as she takes over the Lady Pirates. Now, Sonja, you've been a longtime member of the Pirate program, first joining the team in 2011. First, you've been an all-conference player. You served as an assistant coach. What were the factors in choosing Hampton for your education?
Hey, Mark. Thanks for having me. It's my pleasure. Well, back in 2011, I had volleyball coach at Hampton University at that time. He actually reached out to me, and obviously I was in Serbia, but he actually called me on my home Serbian number, speaking some broken Serbian words. But I think that was pretty cool, and I immediately felt like a connection with him as a coach. The team was pretty diverse at that time, so a lot of girls reached out to me, and I just thought that Hampton was a good fit for me. And 10 years later, I think I made a good decision. As far as like staying here as a coach, I definitely think that the current administration made all my transitions very smooth. So that's one of the biggest things.
How special is it for you to be a head coach at your alma mater?
It's very, very special. I think it's a very unique opportunity, and it doesn't happen often. I have here a good record as a student athlete, so I would like to continue my legacy and have a successful coaching career as well.
You earned a degree in economics. You have a master's in sports administration. Before you got into coaching, what was your plans for these two degrees?
Being international student here, I always knew I wanted to have a business degree because I think that would definitely give me more opportunities, job opportunities in the future. But then I remember I was a marketing major, and in a short period of time, I switched to economics because I liked all my economics courses. And after I had the business degree, I definitely wanted to pursue something related to sports. So I decided to finish my master's degree in sports administration. I wasn't really planning on being a coach. I think it's just I wasn't ready to be done with volleyball. I think my passion and love for the sport were still like very strong. So I wasn't ready to be done, and it was always in back of my head, but it just happened very spontaneous, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity.
So I guess my next question is, when did you realize that you wanted to be in the coaching profession? And was coaching at Hampton and obviously getting into the head coaching position, was that something you had planned for or targeted, or how did that all come about?
Well, as I mentioned, I love the fact being part of the team. And I just like the Hampton program. It feels like a family here. So it was always back in my head that I would like to pursue coaching career, especially because I also did a lot of summer camps. So I love the fact that I was coaching new kids. So yeah, it was always like back in my head. But I realized after finishing my playing career that I'm now done with volleyball, and I have more to give to the sport.
So when you played for the Lady Pirates, what type of player were you? What was your position? And from your coaching, since being a coach, is your coaching style similar to how you were as a collegiate player?
That's a good question. I was an outside hitter, right side occasionally. I think I was very passionate. And to be honest with you, I always made sure that, my grades and my GPA were like fine. And I never had any academic issues, but personally, volleyball was a priority for me. So I just love practicing. I love playing games. I love being part of the team. I love my team at that time. And I also really liked the coach I had. So for me, it was very enjoyable to be part of this program. I think I was, very disciplined and consistent. So I definitely expect the same from my girls. But I do see that I change over the years. I think that I definitely have more experience in certain situations. Um, I'm more calm, and I think I I just choose better words in certain situations. So those were some like changes that I can see over the years.
So you took over the program in April during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Campus has been closed this fall. I guess my question is how difficult has it been for you in the transition into the head coaching job, even though you've been around the team for several years? And what activities have you been able to conduct with your team during the interim time period?
I mean, we still had like a little bit less than 2 months after coming back from Christmas break before this whole pandemic started. In the beginning, my first priority was to address and change the team culture and team mentality. I just wanted them to, make them learn to push the limits they have about themselves. Also, I was very careful that to be like very consistent with my words and my actions, and that like the best effort is accepted. Only best effort is accepted at all times. And I continue doing that through like right now through Zoom meetings. We do have a lot of like team Zoom meetings that are like regular meetings, and also like some fun activities like more like team bonding. I'm also very big on like individual calls, one-on-one with my players, because I like to know their perspective and just to get them know better as people. Because without changing my style a lot, I want to make sure that something that might work for one person might not work for another person. So I want to make sure that I take the best out of them always. So that's definitely like individual calls is something I'm really big on right now.
Well, great. Well, as we continue to get to know you, we're going to ask you some different type of questions for this next round. The first question is, growing up or even till today, who was your favorite volleyball player?
I don't have a favorite volleyball player. I do have players that I really like and enjoy watching. I'm just gonna go more like with a volleyball style, talking about like national teams. So I love Serbian volleyball style and Brazilian.
Now, how about beach volleyball or indoor volleyball?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Even though I grew up playing indoor volleyball, I would go with beach volleyball because it's fun and it's very challenging mentally and physically. And I wish I can play more beach volleyball. So I would go with beach volleyball.
Okay. Well, with that, if you could select anyone to be your beach volleyball playing partner, who would that be? And is there a professional duo out there that you would like to challenge to a friendly match?
I would select one of my former teammates, my former roommate, and my best friend Maria. She was on the team with me same years, and she was a middle blocker. So she's tall and she's very aggressive at the net. So I would feel pretty comfortable having her by my side, and we would challenge. We would challenge Misty May and Carrie Walsh, but now, today, even though I don't think that, I still think they would beat us, but, maybe we would have more chances.
That's good. That's great. So at what age did you start playing volleyball? And which did you play in any or all of the scoring formats, the side out, the 30-point, 25-point? How was your volleyball early years when you started playing?
I started when I was 11 or 12, obviously back in Serbia. And for some reason, I don't know why, at that time, it was considered as a girls' sport more. Yeah, maybe just in Serbia, I don't know. And I remember because I was asking my brother to join me and, play for the same club, but he was like, no way, that's a girls' sport. And guess what? A couple of years later, he ended up playing volleyball. He was pretty good. So that's how I started. And I grew up, I played 25 scoring format, so that's what I'm used to it, and it's been working for me.
And our last question for you, I know you've been around the Hampton program for a long time, but is there still something about you that your team does not know about and would be surprised to learn about you?
That's the hardest question for me. Um, Something that I could think of that might be a surprise and people definitely don't know that about me, and it's very like unexplained. I don't even know why. I'm just very impressed with Italian culture, Italian language, Italian food, Italian music, just Italy as a country. Um, I don't know why. I'm just in process right now learning Italian language, so that would be like a pretty big accomplishment for me. So that would be something I think that people don't know about me.
Well, great. Well, Coach, we really enjoyed getting to know you a little bit more today. We thank you for your time and we wish you all the best.
Thank you, Mark. Thanks for having me.